Like some of the ratings for the original beers are going to be lost because I don't know.
Well, we rated them on film.
Oh yeah, how
They
about
won't be
that?
lost.
You just have to
Imagine that.
Sorry, all those videos are gone.
Hey, I had a gig last night, man. I'm only working on a few hours of sleep. So,
Other than there's nowhere we're going to be able to find them.
okay. So, here we are, Tuesday's beer. Craft Beer Buds, where the palate always prevails because we don't know what we're drinking. Man, I am on fire. We don't know what we're drinking until we drank it. Man, I finished the show in horrible form, and now I'm continuing by opening this one equally horribly. That said, welcome back, Mike, our new panelist, Randy, and the same old down on the end.
With a hat that we haven't seen before.
Well, I'm trying to do a different hat for
All right.
different episodes.
solid
So
hat.
this is my
Nice.
Crocodile Dundee hat.
All right.
I'm waiting for him to come with a burqa. That'll be his best look.
I said that I was going to get a burqa, but then I thought there'd be a whole different thing because you can't drink beer. You know, it's a bad.
Is that the rule? You wear burqa, no beer?
Well, I think the burqa
That's why
symbolizes
they-
something else. So we're going to leave that completely alone. All right. Anyway.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, let's. We don't want any jihad coming to North County. So
Just simple beer folk.
That said, Randy, this is your beer.
This is my beer.
Is there? You don't want to give anything
let's
away,
pour it
but is
out.
there anything you'd like to say about it, or? No, I guess
That
not.
this is
Just
beer.
It's just beer.
This
It
is
looks like
something
beer,
more
sort of.
in the vein that I would possibly be digging on.
A little lighter.
A little bit lighter.
lighter than the last beer. That we
Lighter
looked at
than the
here,
last
for sure.
beer.
It almost has that juicy. So since we talked about the Pure Project,
Yes.
and you talked about how juicy it is, I have seen juicy beers everywhere since we talked.
There's,
about
wow.
That's the fad right now.
Yeah.
And
Is the juicy beers.
And it's funny on
Kyle
that
ciders.
note,
Sorry.
you should be.
I am. Deeply.
But I actually gave one of those to my neighbor just to, as kind of another control off of what, and everybody comments on the aftertaste. He did as well. He liked it. He's like, yeah, this is good. But there is that
one was this?
aftertaste is the Goodbye Pluto.
Oh yeah,
Pure
okay.
Project. Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that I
IPA,
think
yeah.
half of us really didn't care for, and the other half were kind of down with. So, all right,
this
who's
is-
going to
this is
start
a
us
nice
off?
This is a citrus. Yeah, like
I
a
got-
strong,
Wow.
I got peach.
strong fruity, citrusy smell.
This is not a cider. This is a beer.
Yeah, so when we say juicy, so juicy is like IPA usually. That is real
That
kind
is
of like
peach.
cloudy. Like it
Right.
has a lot of stuff
That's a
in it.
peach thing happening.
It's strong. I guess is it hops that makes the juiciness? The juicy beer, like strong hops.
Yeah, unless there is fruit adjunct, then yeah, most of those are. It's just how they do with the hop variety.
Oh man, this is.
I think it's the first time I've really sat there and actually
Checked it out.
checked this one out like this. Yeah, and this
it's
one. Yeah,
interesting,
this
right?
was one that I discovered a while back amongst several others to not give away.
Yeah, this
amongst
is-
some other types of beers in the same vein that I had tried. I didn't know much about the brewery. I know a little bit more about it now. Tried it a couple times. My wife liked it. I really liked it. I had taken it to practice a couple times. And it's a yeah.
Actually, you shouldn't tell me that.
No,
But I can't.
this was
remember.
prior to you.
It is.
okay.
It is definitely a fairly light beer. It's not very strong at all. It's easy drink. It's yeah. That fruit smell is almost
It's like
overwhelming.
peachy vanilla.
Yeah.
Very like a peach cobbler thing going.
Yeah, super strong peach smell.
Love it though. I'm a big fan of peaches, so I love that.
I could
I
eat
guess
a
I'll
peach for
taste it.
hours.
Really love your peaches. Love to shake
Oh,
that
yeah.
tree.
I like this beer better than that comment.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
You're only pissed off because I said it first.
Fair point. It's good. I like it a lot. It's it's not a lager. It's definitely thick, like not thicker, but it's definitely stronger than a lager. I wouldn't. Doesn't seem quite strong enough to be a full IPA, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, it's good beer. It's almost, for me personally, it's almost too fruity.
Yeah.
Like there's almost too much fruit to it. I want more of a beer taste. Like this almost goes to the line of like carbonated fruit juice or something like
Right.
that. Not in a bad sense, but yeah. What do you think?
That's exactly what I was saying. It doesn't really even taste like beer. It almost, you said it's not cider, but kind of tastes like cider, to be honest with you.
It doesn't have that weird, that fermented cidery taste, so it's definitely not like in the
but
cider
it's real
family.
close.
But yeah,
It's like an
so
in-between, a
fruity.
crossover beer.
Yeah. It's so fruity that it doesn't really have like the bitterness of beer. And it doesn't need to be super bittery, but I almost want like a little bit of a beer cut, and it's not really there
Sure.
from it so
And
much.
one point to make to both of those, and what I've noticed with a lot of beers in this vein is that you can have different batches that are a little bit more pungent. And one thing I am noticing right now is this is one of the more pungent batches from a fruity perspective that I've
From
had.
this type of, yeah.
From this
See, that's-
specific beer itself,
But-
because I've drank it quite a bit. It's never been quite as overpowering, but then again, I may not have been.
See, that
paying
would
attention to
almost
it.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
would
Right,
almost
Absolutely.
cause me to question the brewery because unless it's something that's barrel aged, if there is a lack of consistency, that's actually kind of I mean.
Concerning.
Not to talk about the quality of this beer in the glass as it is right now, but if it varies from batch to batch and it's not barrel aged, that to me in my mind means that there's a quality control issue.
Sure, and it could be, and like I said, it could be the fact that I'm actually sitting here absorbing this beer in this format, as opposed to sitting there
And just
listening to some music.
Well, no,
and-
right, exactly, because I think every time I've had this specific beer, it's been basically at a practice or sitting at home, and it's been right out of the bottle. Right out of the bottle doesn't give you the same effect as it's going to do out
Oh,
of the
no,
glass.
it's different
right?
in the glass.
So maybe I haven't even noticed that. So maybe the consistency. I'd hate to hack on the brewer for lack of consistency
Yeah,
based
yeah.
on my noviceness.
Well, and as we've actually explored in previous episodes, how long a bottle has been on the shelf, that's kind of an issue.
true.
And actually, what the adjuncts are and what is in there, you don't know how long it's going to stay on the shelf.
Right.
Now, when you bought this, was it cold? I assume when you
Yes,
got
this
it,
was
or
a-
was
this
it
was
shelf
already
warm?
cold. No,
Okay,
this was cold.
And the beer that you brought out first, was that cold when you bought it, or was that a shelf beer?
It was cold, although I drove over here with it.
Oh,
so.
okay. Yeah, I got you.
It's not as cold as this one. This one was more in the
Mine's,
ice.
yeah, mine
Yeah, 'cause
stayed-
I actually
mine stayed
forgot.
nurtured and ice through it.
Yeah,
being
it
ice
is pretty
drink.
I
chilly.
actually forgot. That's one of the things I think that we should cover is how and where we bought it. Because there are some beers sitting out at room temperature on the shelf. Some of them are sitting in the cooler. And I think that makes a difference because I know when I went looking for beers today, I've got quite a selection in there already, but I wanted to get some other stuff. I went to one liquor store where some of the beers and the exact same beer, some were in the cooler, some were sitting on the shelf warm. So, which I had never seen that before.
I run into this with a specific brand as well.
But that is something I think
You know what
that
you
it's
should have done?
worth
You should have gotten
sharing
one of
when we
each
talk
and just
about
seen
it.
if there was a difference between the
Yeah,
taste.
that's
That
a-
would have been interesting.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you go
I
to a
don't want
liquor
to.
store and you reach in the back and the one is covered with dust. It's been sitting there for months, or the one's been put out there. We've talked before in the show too about draft. Draft at a bar is very different, surprisingly
Yeah,
different.
because
from-
it's so fresh.
From this stuff, we've had a bottle come out where I've had the beer before on draft and I really liked it, and in the bottle it didn't work out quite as well. So,
Yeah.
But all that said, you're exactly right. Consistency in a brewery is respectable. Like,
Yeah.
if the brewer, with all those different factors, if the brewer can make sure that whenever you open a bottle or whenever you pour a draft, it is a beer that you recognize and you enjoy, that's a sign of skill too. So.
Yeah, totally.
For this, I would say relatively low ABV, although I'm a little bit surprised by my last one, so I'll go like a 4.7. No, I'm not going
12!
4.7 or so.
I'm wasted.
So what's your number, Mike?
I'm going to say 4.7.
4.7.
And in terms of a rating, I like it. It's not as good as the last one that I liked. It's solid though. It's a little bit too fruity for me. I wish it was a little bit more beery. I'm going to put it at a 2. At a 2 for me for overall rating.
And okay, so Randy, you can rate it, but that's really all you can say.
Do you know the ABV?
Because
I can't remember. I believe I read it.
Well, if you have
There's
any
several.
input, yeah,
There's
we'll-
several with this type of format that I drink, and I get a little confused.
Sounds like you're
One of
trying
them's
to
lower.
cheat.
No, not trying to cheat. I'm not going to give the APV because I think I have an idea of where it is.
Okay. All right, well, that's fair.
But my rating on this one, because like I said, I grabbed this one. This is one that I have.
This
it's
is a regular for you.
Well, no, it's not even a regular. It's actually just I had bought it last week, and I wasn't
okay.
going to stop on my way over here because traffic sucks. So
Oh, I got
That's
you.
why I got. But I'm going to say from right now, my rating on this one is a 2.25. Believe it or not, I actually like that other beer. And like you said, for a lot of the same reasons. Now, the reason I still do continue to do that or buy this beer is because I do like that aftertaste, but just it has to
Well,
be in
and
the right,
your
the right
wife
context.
gave it the stamp of approval.
Yeah, she
too,
did.
so she
Well,
let you
until
bring it
she
in
got the
house.
ones that are like 8.5%, and then she just kind of booted this one off to the side and allowed me to leave with it.
Well, look,
So we really want to go down to this is what I was allowed to leave
Look at
with.
this guy. We need 8.5%
Yes.
if you're his wife.
Exactly.
Wow.
Absolutely. Hey, you're preaching to the choir. I'm sure she would. I'm sure she would give you the thumbs up on that one.
Deep cut. Go ahead.
All right. So, not my style so much. I actually like the fruity beers, but I don't
Not
like...
his style from someone who only drinks beer in this room.
Shush! Shush! So anyway, what I'm saying as far as I like the fruity
Not
beers.
his
I don't
style.
like peach, which okay, whatever. I don't. But I actually think it tastes pretty good. But it's really like we were talking about before.
Nope,
it doesn't
the
taste like
snicker.
beer. So I'm gonna go 1.75, but I think the ABV is a little bit higher than you were thinking. I think it's 5.4.
No, that wasn't me with a higher APV. I know what.
that
Oh
was
yes,
Mike.
Mike
That was me.
was.
4
I've
point-
been fooled on ABV before, and
Five-
I could be
it's
fooled again.
5.4.
Hey, can I get a little more of that?
I actually
if there's
could
some
see
left.
through the sock. I know it's a 5.4
You can see the sock.
using my X-ray.
Oh, you didn't have to do that much, but
Spidey,
that's okay.
my Spidey senses
Yeah,
dictate.
exactly.
What do you think, Jay?
So okay, it's very uniform. The peach matches up with the flavor. It almost borders on a sour. It's not quite as astringent or acidic, but it almost borders on that style of beer. But I do think it is just some kind of, I would say it's probably an IPA that's got some kind of peach thing going. And I like it, but I can only give it, let's see, out of 3. I'm going to give it 1.5. Just
Whoa, you gave
because,
it lower than me.
I mean, I love peaches, I really do, but I don't think I want them in my beer.
That understood that.
And there's other fruit and citrus and stuff that but yeah, to me, I like my peaches separately.
I'm gonna throw this off. So you're making a lot of noise on all the peach mentions. Don't say anything. I'm gonna challenge it. I'm gonna say I don't think it's peach. I'm gonna suggest, and this is just me throwing it out there. I'm gonna suggest mango. It's more of a mango flavor
You know what?
than a peach flavor. That's my thought.
And I think that's a safe statement because mango is far more popular in beers than peaches are.
I'm gonna go with my guess of mango. I think I hear what you guys are saying with peach, but it smells
strikes
slightly
me as
different.
peach.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But
Well, maybe if Mike can shut up and wait his turn next time, because it's like the minute the beer comes out, he's like, "Oh, it's this." It's like, well, you
he's right.
can't go first every time. I know it's hard for you to contain yourself, but you can't go first every time.
it just means with that hat on, you can't listen to anything that he says.
I can't hear anything.
Hey, if
You
he's got a
can't listen to
knife to
anything he
match
says
that hat,
anyway.
you'll listen to anything he wants to say.
You cannot
right.
be
You know-
biased by Crocodile Dundee over there.
You know, it's like, you got to understand, it's like that whole shotgun story from the previous episode. You remember the shotgun, the process
He doesn't
server
remember the
shotgun?
episode.
Oh my God, he can't remember that.
Do you remember the process?
total
You-
backfire.
See, the reality is, if you see what
went
really
backwards.
happened there, it was probably an old lady with a broomstick. But by the time he got here, it was some dude with a shotgun. So
Listen to him.
once you
Come on,
understand,
yeah.
that's
All
the
right.
mentality.
It was actually to do with an AK-47, and we had to.
So in a week, it's gone from shotgun.
Well,
to
we had to duck
AK-47.
down behind the hedges and,
And actually,
pulled out the
if we
dragon
ask
gun.
him again later, it'll be a howitzer.
After
so,
the-
All right.
After the fifth taste
I pulled up to this
test.
house, and the guy with the tank came out.
Hey.
he came out of his bunker and is like, "What do you want?" So I have to, the ABV I'm going to put at, what do we have? I'm going to say 5, no, I'm going to say it's a little higher. I'm going to say 5.6.
Oh, I had to go. What did I say?
You were at 5.4, right?
5.4. Okay.
So are we ready for the reveal? I think everybody's
we all
rated
rate it?
it. I
Oh,
said, well,
beer,
yeah,
but
we're
I'm
rated
curious
it.
to see
Okay.
that.
Randy, did you rate it?
Yes.
Yep, we got it all.
Actually, in
I don't remember your rating.
first of all, I just want to do this.
No, I got mango.
Mango.
there you go.
I couldn't. I'm sorry. I was
To be
snickering.
fair, I only made that
No.
guess because I heard you making noise about the peach.
But
go ahead.
this is what's so funny about
It does smell like peach to me. It does.
innuendo, because when you started saying peach, that is what I tasted, and I know what the
And
beer
that's
was.
why I need him to shut up and wait his turn, because I immediately went in on peach also.
So here we
But
go.
I still say it does smell like peach.
There you go.
Oh, it's a hef.
It's a half.
Oh, should have
So
known by the
you were
cloudiness.
skirting around. You were
Wow.
skirting around a lot of stuff. Mango.
So says them. I think it's
Yeah.
peach.
But here's the best part, and I did know this. 5.5.
Oh, he got me.
5.5,
Oh,
5.6.
no, I was
That's why I
5'6",
remembered
you
what
were
it was.
5'4".
Yeah.
Oh no,
So-
no.
I
You
was
were
He
5'4",
went. No, he
right?
went
4
4.
is that what I said? Or
He
4
was-
something?
Who's
4'7"?
4'7"?
I said 4'7".
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I
were
gotta put an
5'6",
S
he was
next to your
5'4",
name.
and that's why I was giggling
I am
because
the
y'all were
ABV
both so
I'm
close.
the ABV king. That's all I know.
I was
is
gonna
that-
say, so once again, I guess low.
Yeah.
So I am usually much drunker than I expected.
Cheap date.
Yeah.
Cheap date.
And it is a half.
I've had this before. It's great
Yeah.
beer from Garage. Garage
Yeah.
is a great place over there.
This
in
is what
Temecula.
I have never sat and drank it out of a glass, and there is a completely different taste. And it hits your palate completely different in the glass
going out
as
of the
opposed
bottle,
to the bottle.
you don't get the full. And that's
Absolutely.
why some of the cans, off the top of my head, I think Mike Hess is the only one in town doing it. That's why they have what they call like an open mic can. That when you pull the top, the whole top comes off,
and lets
the
it breathe.
can becomes like a mug
Yeah.
because
that's cool.
it's not the same as drinking it out of such a small opening.
And see, that's another thing too. As you get down and as it settles, and this is another thing too. It's a hef, but it's got a little bit more
And
carbonation.
see, now that
when
I
it
know,
settles,
now that I know that it's a hef, I'm getting more of a weedy character that I feel like I should
Exactly.
have known. I should have known before.
But I would say that the even though it's a mango, the hef has its own sort of citrusy sort
It
of
does. Absolutely.
bent,
Yeah.
which will bend that mango a little bit. Like that's why it's a mango hef.
Magnifies
because-
it
Yeah, yeah.
to a certain
it
degree,
sort
right?
of
Good
pushes
call,
it
yep.
in a direction that I think probably is closer to peach or a little bit more of this acidic type of thing.
But it's funny. You said
good.
peach. I taste peach. I
Yeah.
still taste it now.
I think even without the suggestion, it still strikes me as peach.
Now,
when you
there's
smell it.
several ones that I've consumed. Several of the mangoes, like there's the Sculpin mango.
Mm-hmm,
There's the Latitude 33 mango, Mango Vesa, which they're all good. To me, this is the absolute fruitiest, less like a beer, comparatively speaking to the other ones.
Right.
For sure. There's no question. That's why, therefore, this was a sessionable beer for me, especially since I sing. It was one of those things that was easy for me to drink while I was singing.
Cool.
I still have to pace it because it's not as light as Tecate, and after a while it used to.
It's not.
Not supposed to talk about those beers while we're on the air.
Sorry.
But it's a great beer. I like Garage a lot. Garage is great. And I personally, right, when I drink a hef, I try to stay away from the fruity hefs just because I like the flavor of hef. I really like that. So that kind of folds in with
makes
this.
sense.
Like I want a little bit more of a beery taste, but it's great beer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but just a little too fruity for me.
A little too fruity.
All right.
It's one of those, I drink it, but, you know.
All right, so I think that wraps that beer up. Randy's first submission to the group.
Thank you very much.
Good deal. Okay, so Craft Beer Buds wrapping up Tuesday beer. And if you're going to punish your liver, make it count wherever possible. Drink it where they brewed it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Peace.
Cheers. With an empty glass.
Again.
Going down easy.
Going fruity. Just a little bit fruity.